JJ, Justin Jefferson, Offensive Player of the Year, just announced right now on the big screen over here. That's phenomenal. Very, very proud of JJ. JJ, what a job, pal. What a job.
Mashed potatoes.
What a job, pal.
Yeah, buddy.
We also have a little Derek Carr news to discuss. We also have a little field goal, record-breaking field goal information to drop here on the show. Your boy Smitty kicked the longest field goal at the entire NFL experience day one. The longest field goal. Look, Dicker the kicker, better watch out. Your boy Smitty is coming for his job. Maher, he's gone. Your boy Smitty is first in line to replace Maher. I kicked the longest field goal at the experience all Thursday long. I'll show it to you right here, the Fantasy Football Show. File on in. Hit that thumb up button. File on in. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. I'll come back for a 55.
Yeah.
50. I'll come back for a 55.
Yeah.
50. I'll come back for a 55.
Yeah.
50. I'll come back for a 55.
Yeah.
50.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, Smitty, that wasn't 45 yards, and you would be correct. I don't believe it was exactly 45 yards, but it was close. Those are about 8.5 yards apart, the markers, and a lot of people are saying, Smitty, you kicked it from 30 yards, but there wasn't the end zone, but that's correct. But if you're kicking from the 30-yard line with the end zone, it would be a 40-yarder. They're not adding that extra 10 yards. So you're kicking from 30. It actually is 30. But it's more like 27, 26 yards because it was about 8.5 yard markers of 10. I counted it on the side. But that kick still would have sailed through a 50-yard distance. So your boy Smitty, either way, doesn't matter. Your boy Smitty still kicked the furthest kick at the experience. And if I went back to 50, but it was in the crowd area where you stand in line, that's where I had to kick the 50-yarder from. And I would have killed it if I had space, but I did shank that attempt, because I didn't have room to even back up. But it was fun either way. And, I still need to drop some LBs. I look at myself there, man. I felt like I was moving like a ninja, in stealth mode. And when I watched the video, I looked slow. And I'm like, God, I still got to drop some LBs. But I was proud of myself by at least kicking the furthest kick in the NFL experience. File on in, punch that thumb up button on your way in the door. We've got a little Derek Carr news to talk about. Derek Carr and the Saints reportedly have the framework of a trade worked out and in place. So that is great news for anybody that's wishing for a Derek Carr to the New Orleans Saints for the benefit of Chris Olave. And Chris Olave would have an amazing season, maybe top 6 wide receiver season. Who's Chris Olave? He's only a moon man.
The moon man, dropping loads in outer space.
This guy right here. This guy, Chris Olave. This was our newest moon man, Tony Pollard.
Space Moon says.
But Chris Olave would absolutely fly and sail to the moon and be an absolute monster in a situation where he's finally fed consistent quarterback production. He's fed consistent passes and solid opportunities to get some good yardage and to not just be a one-dimensional wide receiver, which is what he was in New Orleans, because if it was Winston, he was an air yard stretcher of the field. When he didn't have Winston in there, he was a short yardage sideline wide receiver, and he was always one-dimensional, but he proved he could do all things, play all facets of the game. So if he gets a quarterback like Derek Carr, who we could make fun of all we want as far as closing a game out, becoming a playoff quarterback, winning a Super Bowl, like that doesn't matter when you're talking fantasy football. What matters is Derek Carr fed Davante Adams over 100 receptions, 1,600 yards, and 14 TDs. So if anybody's making fun of this landing spot for the sake of Olave's production, you don't know what you're talking about, because Derek Carr absolutely did well for Davante Adams. This would be a great move. Smitty approved for Olave's fantasy value if it goes down.
You've just been Smitty approved.
So Jacobs, though, on this note, Jacobs said this. Josh Jacobs told Pro Football Talk today that he play on the franchise tag. He earlier had mentioned he doesn't want to play on the franchise tag, has no interest in playing on the franchise tag, maybe some threat of holdout or not signing his franchise tag tender if he's slapped with it and trying to force a franchise tag and trade or a release or whatever. Jacobs told Pro Football Talk today that he play on the tag if the team loaded up at other positions and added players around him, meaning Aaron Rodgers. We know that this means Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, and the tagged $10 million running back Josh Jacobs. Now, $10 million is not that big of a price tag. So you might say to yourself, will they use the tag if they plan on going and getting Aaron Rodgers? Let me tell you why they might. Because $10 million is not a big deal. And also, this number 7 pick, if it needs to be used, and I'm not saying that's what I would do. I would try and get rid of future picks versus getting rid of something tangible and solid like the top 7 pick here. But maybe it's going to require that. Maybe the Raiders need to make this move. They're on borrowed time with Davante Adams. They're paying him big money. And if they swing and miss on Aaron Rodgers, they're royally screwed. Because the next best quarterback on the open market in the quarterback movement situation is Derek Carr. Derek Carr is the next best option if Lamar Jackson isn't being traded. And there's a lot of people that think that he'll work out a long-term deal with the Ravens. Or if he is franchise tagged and traded himself, the Raiders might not be the place he wants to go. So if, in fact, you have a situation where the Raiders miss on landing Aaron Rodgers because they don't want to give up the 7 pick, guess what? Everything goes down the toilet. This big contract that they have Davante Adams signed to, it's going to be an absolute disaster. An absolute disaster for the Raiders in a blunder. So they may have to be forced into giving and surrendering this number 7, which we've all kind of talked about could be a Bijan Robinson pick, right? Well, you solve the problem by doing this. You franchise tag a guy named Josh Jacobs, who plays on a slightly over $10 million deal. Not that much money at the end of the day. RBs are a lot cheaper. That number is not horrible. It's not like a quarterback number, over $40-50 million. This is $10 million for an RB. Not that expensive. So you franchise tag Josh Jacobs. You give up on the idea of maybe getting Bijan. You send the number 7 over to the Green Bay Packers, which is an absolute steal for them because they do actually want to see what Jordan Love's all about. And they don't believe they're going to win necessarily with Aaron Rodgers there anymore. And he needs to move on anyway to prove that he needs a new environment to win. And quite honestly, I'm okay with this from a Christian Watson perspective because we have Christian Watson over here on the Moon Man list.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
So this particular quarterback movement conversation we're having right now, where Aaron Rodgers goes to the Raiders and Jordan Love gets to throw footballs to Watson, I'm kind of okay with this. I think maybe Jordan Love isn't going to be the next big quarterback, but he's good enough, sufficient enough, Derek Carr level kind of player, in my opinion, production-wise, that he can continue to do what Aaron Rodgers was doing with this guy, Christian Watson. Olave gets Derek Carr in this conversation we're having today. Fantastic for this Moon Man. This Moon Man right here is the one we're worried about. Maybe he gets Mike White back. Maybe they bring Mike White back and we're not so worried. But there are concerns with every one of these sophomore wide receivers on the Moon Man list. And a Derek Carr here, and a Jordan Love here, and a Devontae Adams getting taken care of by Aaron Rodgers in Las Vegas. And then this situation getting resolved some other way. Hopefully, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't go to the Raiders, he does go and plays football with Garrett Wilson. That might be actually a little more ideal for us for the Moon Man list because then you have Aaron Rodgers throwing to Wilson, you have Derek Carr throwing to Olave, and you got at least Jordan Love throwing to Christian Watson, which is not a bad situation and setup. So ultimately, a whole lot going on. This deal potentially in place with the New Orleans Saints right here. So Derek Carr and the Saints and the Raiders all in talks here. He has a no trade clause. He could say no. But he's the one that initiated the talks and went and met with the New Orleans Saints. So odds are he's not going to say no. And odds are this is a real chance of happening. Why? Because if it doesn't, guess what? The Raiders released Derek Carr on the 15th. They released Derek Carr on the 15th. And if you shake your head no, they owe him 32, depending on how you look at the numbers and break it down accounting wise, it's 32 to 40 million. $32 to $40 million. It's $40.8 million if you look at the way that it actually hurts the Raiders, I think, as a whole, but it's a $32-something million salary that they would owe him if he's on the roster February 15th and beyond. So they will be forced to cut him and get zero. That means if the Saints said, we'll give you a 3rd-round pick, that's it. I'm sorry. The Raiders are going to take it. As long as Derek Carr gets his contract, which is going to get negotiated, and the framework of this deal would include an extension, because Derek Carr is not, I repeat, Derek Carr is not going to play football for anybody. He's going to veto a trade or say no trade clause activated if he doesn't land in a spot where he gets a fat long-term contract. He'd rather force a release, go sign with the team, and get a massive, and you can laugh at this all you want, but he's going to command it, a massive deal that guarantees him probably over $100 million. Guaranteed. That's a small contract for a starting quarterback in the NFL. We're going to look at the top dogs like Hurts getting $350 and $400 million on a new contract extension going forward, and Lamar's going to get something in the range of $300-400 million. I don't know how much will be guaranteed. Could it be $230 like Deshaun Watson, or will it be $220? Will it be $210? Will it be $250? Will it be $300? We don't know what the guaranteed amount is, but with the cap going up, we don't know. So Derek Carr getting like $140 guaranteed would not be crazy. $100 to $140 guaranteed. So forcing his release, saying no to a trade that didn't have a contract in place, that's why I know there's a deal in place. If the framework's there for a trade, The contract just needs to be ironed out and agreed upon. So if the Saints say we'll give you a third rounder or we're out, the Raiders are going to take it. And if Derek Carr if they want Derek Carr this bad, they're probably going to pay Derek Carr whatever he wants, fair market value wise. So a real good shot at this happening, guys. Derek Carr could be a New Orleans Saint. Josh Jacobs could be playing with Aaron Rodgers. It's exciting. We got two players on the move that feel very, very likely to be in these situations. Now, Aaron Rodgers' situation won't iron out until he gets through his darkness retreat, which could be in the next couple of weeks. I've heard. We don't know if it'll be 2 weeks from now, 1 week from now, 3 weeks from now. The sooner the better, because there's a lot depending on Aaron Rodgers' decision and a lot of player movement involved and reactions and things that can happen that wouldn't happen if he decided to come back and want to trade. Then you got Jordan Love staying put in a trade negotiation taking place between the Jets or the Raiders. Michael Thomas thoughts? We'll see, man. I have no high hopes for Michael Thomas, but at least he's going to get a quarterback in there. Carr isn't a moon man. He's a backup fantasy QB. Stop it, LOL, says James. Carr isn't a moon man. Who said Carr's a moon man, James? I'm very, very confused. Stop what? Stop what when I didn't say anything about Carr being a moon man? Maybe someone else in the chat said he was a moon man, James, because I don't know what you're talking about here. I have a feeling you're talking to somebody else because it doesn't make sense to me. Yes, defensive rookie of the year, Sauce Gardner, says Sloth. I mean, the defensive player of the year was Bosa. But, yeah, Sauce Gardner, 100% deserves this. I mean, what a beast this guy is. If you're a quarterback, if you're Derek Carr or you're Aaron Rodgers or you're Lamar Jackson, New York looks probably better than Las Vegas, in my opinion. I'd rather go play football for New York. I'd like the market better. The market's good in Las Vegas, though, but I like the market better. I know the taxes and stuff are more beneficial in Las Vegas. I get that, but negotiations will happen and offers will be made to make sure that that's parallel. And this happened with Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, when the Packers said we'll trade you, but we'll offer you the same deal, they had to offer Devontae Adams a much higher amount of money to account for the tax difference, and so that will be taken care of. So don't think for a second Aaron Rodgers is worried about taxes, because if he goes somewhere, he'll make sure that's accounted for. If he's going to Las Vegas or he's going to the Jets, he's going to be getting paid what he wants to get paid in terms of take-home money. Yeah, Bosa did good. Bosa did real good. Good year. What did I say, Smitty? You were looking for prime Carr to the Saints. Yeah, it very well could happen. Very well could happen. Who would the next QB to claim a destination after Carr claims his? It comes down to Aaron Rodgers and Lamar. We'll have to kind of see what happens there. And there's some timing involved in all that. So if Aaron Rodgers is going to do this darkness retreat 3 weeks from now, we got a long wait, and then a lot can happen. The Jets are going to spare no expense. The Raiders are going to spare no expense. As I pointed out earlier, the Raiders are going to be in such a tough spot because they only have Aaron Rodgers to go after, and they're going to have to probably use the 7 pick, which is costly. That's a crazy, crazy pick to surrender. Sauce Gardner to the moon, Bosa to the moon, JJ to the moon. Absolute amazing night tonight. And I was just down there. I was walking right by this guy. Let's see. Right answers only. Who is this individual right here? Let me put this up. Right answers only. Who is this? This is when I was walking out. He was walking into the red carpet, and I was about ready to leave. Who is this? Who is this? Give me your best guess. Right answers only. Anybody? Anybody? I'm gonna wait and see what the chat thinks. I'll pause it real quick. Who do you believe this to be? Lamar to Atlanta could happen. It could, bro. And that'd be really phenomenal. Thank you, Peanut Butter and Waivers. Appreciate you. Not Barry Sanders. Not Barry Sanders. It's hard to tell from the back. Yeah, the Hall of the tan jacket guy. Yeah, the Hall of Fame jacket. Yes, the tan jacket. The Hall of Fame jacket. Mike, my boy Mike. Cliff, no. Emmett Smith, no. First name starts with a T. Chad Johnson, no. He's got gray hair, bro. This guy's in his 60s. No, it's not Obama. His first name starts with a T. Play for the Dallas Cowboys. Terrell Davis, no, bro. This guy's like 60. I don't know, what is he? 68 years old. This guy right here is, he's smaller. Tony Door. Travis Etienne from the future. Oh, Broskies, you cracked me up. Yeah, so I'm gonna watch this game. We're gonna, Dorset. There was a lot of people walking in when I was walking in. I just missed Barry. At first, I thought it was Marcus Allen because he looks a little like Marcus Allen too. Tyson Thompson. I love ETN from the future, bro. Psst. Psst, we need you. We're gonna take you. ETN. Bro is tiny though. I know as you get older you shrink, but I felt like he was like this tall. Anyway. Who is this on stage right now cracking jokes? Is that Kelly Clarkson? Who is this lady right here? Is that Kelly Clarkson? That's on stage cracking the jokes left and right. Who is that? You guys may not have known who that was when I showed him, but I don't know who this is. Is this Kelly Clarkson? It kind of looks like her. George Kittle standing up. I met Tony Dorsett back in 95 at a bar in Dallas after a game. Very cool dude. Yeah, he was really cool. People were shouting his name, and he was waving to everybody. He wasn't like looking like he was annoyed. He's a cool dude. He's wearing his jewelry. He's got his jacket on. I wish I could have been at this event. That would have been nice. There are people that were decked out walking into this thing. And there's Christian McCaffrey. Tim Brown. She is a Dallas. Wait, who is this lady? Is this Kelly Clarkson? I'm serious. I don't know if that's Kelly Clarkson or not. She's full of jokes, but a lot of them aren't funny. The Brock Purdy one was kind of funny, where she's like, congrats on all you accomplished. Now you can get a driver's license. Boy. All right, let's open up the phone lines. Let's talk a little foosball.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial into the show. We got so much smoke coming down the way. It is smoke season, baby. It is smoke season. Just saw Dalvin Cook unlikely to take a pay cut, maybe cut, and go after Bijan. Vikings have what pick, bro? Minnesota Vikings have the 23rd pick. I guess that's possible. They could get Bijan there. They could also trade down a little and get Jahmyr Gibbs. That would make sense if they do move on from Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook he wouldn't surprise me if Dalvin Cook was released. Dalvin Cook is also tailing off a little. He had some decent games. Ron, did you see my field goal? My 45-yard smash, bro? You'll fail your driver's test using only one hand, yeah. Just saw Dalvin Cook, Tim Brown. Underdog quit the big game draft, did they? Are you sure? Let's see here. Let's plug in. Let's plug into Underdog. Moonman, Rick, you need to worry about that other line. All right, let's look at the Underdog. Again, phone lines are open, guys. If anybody wants to call in, I'll put the phone number on screen here. Where is it? There we go. All right, phone number's on screen if you want to call in. And, this one right here, Brock Purdy. George Kittle said today or yesterday, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, that the 49ers starting quarterback job is Brock Purdy's to lose. That was an interesting quote. Josh Jacobs wanting to play on the tag if they load up, and Derek Carr potentially a deal, the framework of a deal in place. And we should see that trade get announced sooner than later, and a contract announced immediately. $20 hauler from TMT dropping the wad.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. TMT dropping the straight $20 wad on screen. Appreciate you, TMT. TMT says, Smitty, what's up? What's your opinion on Purdy surgery scheduled? There should be a report about having surgery in Dallas. Tutu, on the 22nd, torn UCL. Does he need Tommy John's? He's elected not to get Tommy John surgery. He's going to do what's, I believe, called like it's like a bridge type of repair. And it's what, I think the same surgeries. I don't think anybody's even had a full Tommy John surgery before. We thought maybe Nick Mullins did, but I think this is what Nick Mullins might have had. They're saying there's a shot he could be ready in 6 to 8 months, but I think that's a very, very tall order. But you never know. Everybody recovers differently. But apparently he's decided not to have a Tommy John surgery. But the thing that's confusing about this is they've said from the beginning they don't know, and this, I know this to be true, they don't fully know that that's the exact avenue they can go. I know he's seen the best doctors and he's gone, seen multiple people, and they've done all kinds of tests. But they won't truly know until they get in there what they're fully dealing with. But I think the odds are he's going to be able to do what he wants to do with the surgery, and it's not going the full Tommy John. So there's thought that he'll be ready to go. But the Tommy John surgery, to my knowledge, I don't know why you would not want to go down that avenue if it potentially could put you in a better spot. Maybe this new surgery is better. It's kind of like I want to say they do something like right here with almost look at it like a piece right here that's like bridged. And I don't know. Imagining starting your career and throwing for 15 years under a potential makeshift situation seems weird to me. So I don't know that I like the idea of not getting it fully repaired, but we'll see. Maybe it ends up being better. It's crazy. Tommy John, stronger after rehab, says Eddie, but he's not having it. He's not having Tommy John. He's going for this 6-month, 7-month recovery type of surgery that is more of like a bridge, like where it's like attached here and here. And I don't know. I don't know exactly the details of that specific surgery other than it takes place right there near the elbow. It's a lot shorter of a length of like a ligament that they put in there. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll know more, but definitely a strange situation. But it's good that Trey Lance is on board. It's good that Trey Lance has a chip on his shoulder. And it's good that Trey Lance will have an entire offseason, so you'll kind of know whether you can start Trey Lance in week 1, 2, and 3 and see how he does. And if he does really well, then you can keep him in, much like you kept Purdy in. And if not, guess what? Purdy gets enough healing time. I think if you put Purdy on the field in week 1, you're running the risk of I don't know, maybe week 1's okay, because that's, September 13th or whatever the date is. It's a lot further off than 6 months, but having him come back in camp, I think that's going to be a mistake. Maybe he can start week 1. I mean, he came in mid-season. It did great. So I don't know that he needs the full offseason. It would be good and beneficial for him, but definitely don't know what the results are going to be for him. So, well, we will see. Let's go ahead and get into an underdog. Let's see here. I want to try and connect my phone here. We'll get into an underdog draft. Let's see here. What's going on? Why can't I see it? My phone anymore. What's going on here? Man, what's going on? Dial in. Phone number's on the screen. I don't know. It's not letting me in. I'm trying to show my phone here, but it's not allowing me. I was going to do an underdog draft, but it looks like I'm looking in the lobby right now. So they have the sandbagger, it's golf, they have the big game for $5. That's still there. The big game's still there. I'll have to figure this out. Maybe we'll go live tonight and do some drafts. I can't connect it right now for some reason. Purdy just said that the awards show that he's aiming for training camp. Yeah, I think it'd be dumb to have him do too much too quick. Let him heal. Give Trey a chance. Let Trey prove all offseason. Maybe Trey looks horrible all offseason, and you're like, okay, Purdy, when are you coming back? And then you know. But if Trey's looking great, give him a chance to recover instead of rushing him along. This is Smitty's agent. If you're looking to sign him as the next kicker of the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're gonna have to get in line. The Chargers are very interested. The Cowboys are very interested. Who am I speaking with? You're live on the Fantasy Football Show.
Yeah, they've advanced pretty good with this green screen technology. Were they all aware that green screen was used?
Let's check it out and see. Let's go ahead and go back to the footage. Here's the footage of Smitty. Here's the kick. That was good for at least 50 yards. But the problem with your green screen theory is that the field's green. But in all honesty, I did count it off, and it was not 45 yards. It was probably more like 38. Because those 10-yard markers were about 8.5. 8 to 8.5. They did not do an extremely accurate job marking 10. I don't know why they would not want that to be fully accurate. Like, that's kind of dumb. But I did,
because they want people to feel good about themselves.
yeah, but you still don't want people to think that, you know, they're kicking a 45-yarder when they're kicking a 38. But I had a lot of people telling me that it wasn't 45 because of the end zone. That was inaccurate. I had to shut people down on that one because it's not true. If I was kicking from the 30-yard line and there was an end zone, it would be called a 40-yard kick. But because I was kicking 30 yards away from the field goal, it was a 30-yard kick. It was not a 40-yard kick. So people were confused on that. But it was about 8.5 yards per 10 yards. So the 45-yarder was more along the lines of a 38 to 39-yard field goal. But still, my first one, Ron, sailed through, and it's live on Instagram, and some dude stepped right in front of my phone, then knocked it over. And that 45-yarder you saw me nail there, the one right before that, I crushed it. And it hit the back of the wall, because they have like the field goal, and then there's probably like a 5-foot spacing, and then there's a net. It hit the net and hit the wall so hard that it would have easily cleared 55 yards. And I turned around. I was so proud of myself, and I see my phone flat on the ground. And so the girl that ran the line said, "Do you want me to hold your phone next time?" And I said, "Yeah." And then I kind of kicked that one a little softer, but I was proud of myself. The longest kick of the day at the entire NFL experience. I was pretty proud of that.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. You had the perfect response to the green screen too. I'm surprised, and that's true. if you got the color green in it, it won't work.
Yeah, sure, Ron. I did see a couple people that recognized me there, and they saw it, so they can come in and defend me.
So, did you have?
They could have been green screen too.
Yeah, I had. Okay, but did you get to interview anybody? Did you walk up behind Matthew?
No, it was hard. It was harder to get in those spots than you'd think. But it was fun walking around, talking to people, meeting people in the business, and saying hi. And a lot of people I've collaborated with online I've never met, so it's kind of cool. I didn't get a chance to catch up with Matthew, but I still have some days. We'll see if I can get out there and do it. Plus, it's weird. Everybody's got different schedules, and it was just kind of a lot of chaos today. Today was a weird day to be down there, and then there was a lot of getting ready for this event that a lot of people were kind of gone. And in scheduling interviews, you have to have all that stuff done so far in advance. And unless you're a big dog outlet, which someday we will be, I firmly believe that. But right now, we're kind of looked at as like a redheaded stepchild. And so, we don't get a table. We don't get anything. That's why I couldn't even set up a live stream. You don't get anything. Your boy Smitty didn't get anything, and I don't get a chance to interview Debo or Christian McCaffrey, but that's okay. I didn't expect to, but I thought maybe I could run into him at the pretzel stand and, ask him a few questions, but, it's okay. I had a lot of fun. I might try to hit the Vegas one too. But this is convenient for me because it's right next to my house. Like the convention center's like literally I could jog there if I wanted to. It'd be about a 3.5 mile run, but it's right next to me. Going to Vegas, those hotels it's gonna be hard to book a hotel, but we'll see. I might want to go to the NFL experience in Vegas and try and get a little bit more prestigious spot in the NFL media environment. We'll see.
I'm surprised you didn't like yell out, "Hey, Tony!"
Tony, yeah, I didn't want to bother him.
What? Yeah, because I mean, you got. So you said like he's in the Hall of Fame. He's Tony Dorsett, right?
Yeah.
So he set the precedence for Tony Pollard. Both named Tony.
Yeah, I should have asked him a Tony Pollard question. It's hard because a lot of these guys they're just trying to get into the event. There's people like hassling and yelling at him, and he was trying to cater to it, but he's also trying to keep moving. Then somebody right when I was walking behind him, some security guard ushered up to him. Was like,
older players.
"Follow me." What?
I mean, I'm wrong though. These older players seem to be more apt to stop and talk to you than the younger players because they're already past their prime. They've already either made the Hall of Fame and all this other stuff. So. I mean, they're almost looking for attention in a way because that way they stay a little relevant and they they appreciate, I think, the fandom more than the younger players do.
Yeah, we also you know what I should have did, because this guy walked right up to him, with an earpiece and said, "Hey, Tony, follow me," and he ushered him into like this back area when I was walking, and they took him off in the corner. I should have just said, "Hey, Tony, follow me. We got a seat for you." Put him in my car, drove him straight to the studio here, and sat him in the chair, and just started interviewing him.
Yeah,
Austin, try a call again. I missed your call. That'd be hilarious. He's like, "Boy, can you take me back to the experience, please?"
Man, I remember. God, I had to be like in junior high or something. I was still fairly maybe 13 or 14, and listening to on my radio on my it was late at night. It was a Monday night game, and I was in bed, and I was listening to the Dallas Cowboys, and I forget who they were playing. But it was amazing because it was like, it's different, watching football on TV than it is like listening to it on the radio.
Yeah.
But back then,
Hey.
it wasn't.
Hey, Avatar, call in real quick.
But that game was the game, I don't know if you remember this, where Dallas was down and there was only a few seconds left and their chances of winning were nothing. And Tony Dorsett broke one. He broke one and he's like, "Dorsett, he's at the it's a touchdown. Oh my God, Dallas wins." It was like a huge ass game. And it was great. I mean, just that, I remember that game all my life, just listening to it on the radio.
Hey, hold on one second, Ron. Hold on one second. Avatar.
What's up, brother?
So if I come down to the NFL experience in Vegas and try and get down there and do live streams and all that, what can you help your boy Smitty with? Can you give me a hotel?
Well, I mean, I can help you find decent hotels that are cheap. Yeah, I mean, stuff like that.
All right.
If you need a tour guide, I'm around.
All right. You let me know if you
All
can can swing something. Okay. I'm talking like really swing something for your boy. But
Yeah.
are you just telling me you're just gonna point me to the phone book, or I can give you?
No.
What kind of poll you have? You what?
I mean, I got a lot of friends,
Okay.
so we could probably work something out. How long are you going to be in town?
I don't know. I probably come for like 2 days, I guess.
That's pretty manageable.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll,
Cool.
we'll talk about it.
what I
Hey, I
can do for
appreciate
you.
your super chat. What'd you think of? What'd you think so far of the NFL experience? Like, or the honors stuff? Like, what do you think about the defensive player of the year, Sauce Gardner, rookie defensive player of the year? Who got rookie offensive player of the year?
Garrett Wilson.
Nice. I didn't see it. Because I'm doing the stream, so I didn't get to hear it.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson.
No, it's great.
Boy,
It's
Garrett
great
Wilson.
for the Jets. I haven't been watching the
Jets,
Pro Bowl or the NFL experience or anything, but I think it's great for the
Get-
Jets that they have. They would have had 3 because they would have had.
How
3
could you
too.
not want to play for the Jets? The Jets are the best landing spot for a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is crazy if he doesn't go there. I know the Raiders are kind of the lead dog right now, but he's crazy to not want to go play with Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, I don't even know. I think Garrett Wilson, we probably should put him on the Mars man list right now. I don't think we should even wait. Let's do it. Hold on.
Well,
The moon man
DeBall being
dropping
named
loads in
NFL
outer
Coach of the Year.
space.
Brian DeBall.
Dable?
oh really? Yeah. Well,
Space Monsters.
he did a heck of a job with
He's on the
Danny
shuttle
Jones
to
for
Mars.
sure. Did a heck of a
Mars
job.
man.
Turned him into a viable starter, a top 10 starter. If you look at if you look at what he did on the field.
Gentlemen, we are creating history right here. Sauce Gardner. Garrett Wilson is on the Moon Man shuttle. I am proud to announce we're not even waiting. Mars Man shuttle. He is a Mars man. Garrett Wilson.
Nice.
We're just doing it. We're doing it now. We're doing it now before anything happens. How could you not want to be a part of this Jet team? I mean,
I think Aaron wants the Super Bowl this year.
yeah, but they
I
can
think
win
he
this
wants to
year.
go
They
to
can
a
win
team
this
that
year.
can
They got
win this
everything in place. In my opinion,
they're close.
They have everything in place. They just need a quarterback. They got
a heck of a defense. I have him in all my dynasty leagues, Garrett Wilson. So.
Yeah. G. Willie to the.
Hey, Abby. Where did you go for vacation when you weren't around for? You seemed like you weren't around for a long time.
Yeah, I don't really do much. I mean, during the regular season, I focus on what I'm doing. I don't watch a lot of shows.
Yeah, but we
I'm
need
doing trades.
We need you here, pal, because we got news to break. There's all kinds of stuff that's still good to. But I get you if you don't want to be here for the. I don't know, like some of the early stuff, the start bench stuff, if that's just not what you're into. But we do have some new. I'm going to start doing some more focused uploads that will help you. Help out anybody that wants content during the year that doesn't just want start bench advice, because sometimes we get overloaded on the live streams with start bench advice during the season. So I get it, but
your live streams get crazy. It's awesome, especially during the year.
But
you got a lot of people.
I'm gonna make it more entertaining though this year. I'm gonna make it, even though we got a lot of super chats, I'm gonna make sure I rotate between calls and different things. Like this whole, which player, which decision are we rolling with?
Smitty
type of thing.
Fire.
But we'll figure it out. This year was crazy. We got bombarded.
Yeah, but you grew your business so much. It was great.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Avatar, appreciate you, pal. Anything else?
All right, buddy. That's it. I'm cooking dinner, so I'm gonna just listen.
All right, thank you, man. Later. Appreciate your super chat.
All right, later. See you, Ron.
All right, we have Austin on the phone, Ron. Let's hear what Austin has to say real quick. Austin.
What up, City?
What's up?
Hey, I got something I really just want to get off my chest. This is at about 91% of fantasy dynasty football players. Bijan Robinson, baby! Woo-hoo-hoo!
Yeah. Where do you want him to go, bro?
Honestly, I live in Florida, and I got season tickets for the Bucs, so he's coming to Tampa, I hope, with Lamar.
That's a big drop down to what, 19? He could do it. He could drop.
Yeah, but they'll have to move up.
He could drop to 19, but you don't like Rachaad White enough. You just definitely want to go Bijan. I don't blame you.
Rachaad White, he's got what it takes to be valuable, but seeing him in person, he's nothing special.
I don't think the Bucs are going to draft Bijan though. I think you would do that if you. I don't know. Depends on what your quarterback situation is going to look like. What do you expect to happen in Tampa?
100%.
What do you expect to happen in Tampa at the QB spot?
I think we're going to really switch it up. We're going to try to get a rushing quarterback. If it's Anthony Richardson, if he drops to us, if we try to go out and get Lamar, I don't think we got that air raid attack here anymore. Our receivers are getting old. Our offensive line can't hold their blocks, so we really need someone who can scramble.
Ron, what do you predict to happen in Tampa at the QB spot?
Yeah, I'm really kind of up in the air right now. I don't know what they're going to do. I think they've already haven't they already gotten rid of Julio Jones and all that? I think they've already released them, haven't they? They're not coming back next year. So
yeah,
they're
going to be in shambles. I mean, unless they got a Derek Carr, which is not going to happen. It sounds like, unless they got a Lamar, which I don't think Lamar would accept that. I don't think there's a shot. I mean, Aaron Rodgers hasn't even whispered. No one's even whispered.
I like Mike White anywhere. On any one of these teams, I like Mike White. One of these teams giving Mike White a shot, and I think they'd be doing great.
Hey,
so
we'll take Mike White.
Yeah, Mike White, and I think Mike White in Las Vegas or Mike White in New York is definitely the way it's got to go. I think the Saints end up getting Carr. It seems like a real likely scenario now because the framework's there. When they say the framework's there and Derek Carr initiated all of this, that to me means that there's a real good shot this goes through because he's the one that's got to be okay with it. And the Raiders get absolutely nothing if they release him and they get at least a draft pick, like a third rounder, whatever it's going to be if they make the trade. So the Raiders are just going to say okay to whatever. But if that happens and Aaron Rodgers, let's say, goes to the Jets, then the Raiders, they have to get Mike White. What are they going to do? Jimmy G? That would be awful. That would be awful. The Bucks are going to get Jimmy G, or the Raiders are going to get Jimmy G if Aaron Rodgers lands in New York. That's going to be awful for those wide receivers. I don't like that for Adams. I don't like that for Mike Evans or Godwin. I hate to say this, bro, because I know Austin, you're a Bucks fan, but the spot I'm worried about the least is the Bucks. Even though they have 2 wide receivers that get impacted by, let's say, not getting a Mike White, I'm more worried about Adams and Olave and Garrett Wilson and then the Miami Dolphin wide receivers. I want to make sure all those places are resolved. And the Bucks, I think you're in rebuild mode. I think maybe you bring Jimmy G to try, but you're building. You're going to try and retool.
Yeah. No, you're definitely right. I think we've been rebuilding for a couple of years, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, Tom Brady's he's that dude. He can keep it together. But you watch the Bucks even last year and most of this year, they just didn't look good.
Where could I go to kick? Do I take Maher's spot? I think
you'd be
a silence.
weather at least.
Yeah, I think I could hit. I had Eric Davis, former 49er defensive player. He commented on my Instagram post of me making that kick, that 45-yarder. Eric Davis said, blocked. He said blocked. He couldn't even give it to me. He couldn't even give me my flowers one time. Eric Davis he's always got to come in with some kind of negative spin on Smitty's accomplishment. Blocked. First of all, no one blocked it, but I looked at it. I don't know. You tell me, is this too low? Would this be blocked? Let's take a look one more time. One more replay of my kick. I don't know that this is getting blocked. Let's see here. Probably 38 yards, not 40. They say it's 45, but it's probably more like 38. I get that could be blocked. I don't know. Tough to say.
Hey, Schmitty, I'm going to hop off the call. Thank you. I'm going to miss my exit if I don't check my map, though.
All right, Austin, appreciate it. Later, pal.
Yep.
All right, Ron, anything else?
Later, Austin.
Ron, I'm probably not going to have too much longer on here. I might come back later tonight. I might not. But what else you got for me?
That's close. I mean, you just don't know if that could have been blocked.
Oh, I didn't mean on that. I just meant in general. Do you got anything else? But I appreciate your.
No,
I appreciate your support.
It just came up, so
Frake said. Yeah, Frake said that some of the apps like Sleeper might give me kicker eligibility. Maybe.
There you go.
I mean, seriously, like if I had to kick in a game, like I could kick a 40-yard field goal, no problem in a game. That'd be easy. Yeah. 45, with the angle that I need to get, maybe it would get blocked. I don't know, but I could drill 45-yarders all day long. Hugh Jackson would have said it would have been blocked. That's true, Ty Lee. Fake Ty Lee says Hugh Jackson would have told me that was not. He would have told me it didn't go through. If Hugh Jackson disagreed with everything I said, even when we were agreeing, he was disagreeing with me. If you watch the full interview, but Hugh Jackson would have said that didn't go through, and I would have said, Hugh, he went through the uprights, didn't go through. Oh, bro, that was a really funny interview.
That was funny when you showed it to me. I was just shaking my head like, man, this guy he sounded like a jabroni. Yeah,
he was very mad at me. You see him set back in his chair when I said, he goes, yeah, and AJ Green? You don't think AJ Green's a player? And I go, AJ Green? I was like, AJ Green, he's old. He goes, he sat back in his chair. AJ Green can still play. I coached him. I know. AJ Green just retired.
Wow,
okay,
that's crazy.
This is all I cared about today. Anybody can make fun of my kick all they want, whatever. The Bruce says I could have kicked a 60-yarder. That's all I care about. That's a victory in my book. Thank you, Brucey. Appreciate you.
Oh,
Frake says to stop the workouts and just field goal kicks and upload them to YouTube. You might get a tryout. I'll tell you what, I wonder if my knees are going to be hurting in the morning. On my final attempt, I tried to kick a 50-yarder, and the problem was that was like where the green turf ran out, and so they put the ball right near the end of it, and then I had to back up onto the cement, and then I had to move one of the like railings that guided the lines over, and I literally had my heels underneath the railing, and I had to kind of chop step to get out from under that, and then take steps and kick the ball. It screwed me up. I shanked it. It is what it is. You could call that pressure. You could call that crowd presence or whatever. Obstacles, pressure, and I shanked it. And when I shanked it, I felt my quad tighten up. I was like, oh boy, I'm glad that's my last kick. And who knows what my knees are going to be like tomorrow. Just cutting in that angle of those kicks. But I have to admit, I thought I felt like I looked like a ninja out there. Smooth, fast. And when I watched the replay, I looked slow. I look like a turtle, and that's got me wanted to work out more. You what?
You can't always add weight to
Yeah,
people.
but you know how you think you're quicker than you are, and then when you watch footage of it and it looks like you're going in slow motion, it's just like I look like a slow turtle. I mean, I kicked it; it was good, but I need to work on my I need to drop more lbs. I need to get agile. I need to get agile in here.
Don't beat yourself up over it. It looked fine. You looked fine.
Ty Lee's got footage. Fake Ty Lee says he's got footage that I've got film on Smitty that Maurer is dying for. Or Maher is dying for. This footage is going to be ending my kicking career. Ty Lee's got footage that's going to end my kicking career, and it's going to be over for me. Who just won right here? Who's this?
He's got footage kind of like, you heard about old boy getting taken off the NFL Network thing because he talked to a woman in the lobby and she made all these stupid allegations. Michael Irving.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sucks for Michael Irvin, man. I'd be pissed if I was him.
That's what Ty Lee has on you. He had you on the sidelines when you weren't looking. You were talking to some woman or something
and
for
you got to
2 seconds.
Send that to somebody.
Yeah, he's gonna send it.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have your ticket? Yes, I do. That's gonna be the conversation. Smitty, what's Smitty doing? Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, Ron.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
How many cards did you pass out today?
Not as many as you'd think. I should have done more of that, but it's hard. It's hard to walk up. It's hard to walk up to a group of people that are trying to enjoy themselves and be like, "Hey, here, watch my show." But
you should have went around to all the tables there when nobody was looking. Just set a stack of them.
I know. I think I might do one day where I'm not worried about anything else but just guerrilla marketing. Just going out there and just be like, boom, 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 boom. I ran into 2 people that recognized me, and everybody else didn't. We're still getting the brand going. The brand recognition isn't where it needs to be yet. It needs to be where I walk into a place and I can't even get served at a restaurant without being bothered. That's the brand recognition goal that we have. Right now, no one knows that I exist. Probably the main reason people looked at me was they're like, that's him on his shirt. Hey, is that you? Hey, I know you. You're right in front of me. What do you do?
That's when you got to hire me as your bodyguard. So before you go into these places, I'm pushing people away and saying, "Hey, make way. We got fantasy football royalty coming through. Make way.
Yeah.
Don't bother them."
Yeah, just field goal kicker coming through. I did have a couple people when I was in line. They're like, "You're that long kicker." And I was like, yeah, that's me. I had 2 people that called me they're calling me the long kicker. But when I shanked that 50-yarder at the end, it just kind of deflated all the egotistical cockiness that I had going on. Just my blood was flowing with just complete testosterone. I was ramped up, and they were calling me the long kicker. This is him. Back up. This is him. When I walked up, this is that guy. He's gonna kick a 50. I back up, and my feet are under the railing. I feel like I was gonna nip my Achilles tendon trying to run out from under the railing. I chop step it, and I try and kick it, and I know I had the distance. You could see it. I could have done it was only 5 yards back, but I just shanked it. It went right into the net. Like if someone was standing there, it would have taken their head off. And I just that was my last kick, and I just walked off. I'm like, wow, that was sad. That was a sad way to go. I would have loved to have walked off going like this. At least my one moment of fame at the amateur kicking field goal contest environment, just walking off like this. But no, I had to grab my stuff, and the people that were in line that didn't know I was the long kicker, they didn't know that they were looking at the long kicker of the day. They thought this guy tried a 50-yarder and didn't know what he was doing because I shanked it. And it was like I had to walk away so defeated. But we'll get it next time.
Did you hang your head? Were you hanging your head, shaking it?
A little bit.
Red from embarrassment?
A little bit. I wasn't pleased with myself. I don't like excuses like a metal bar or the fact that I'm standing on cement trying to run onto the fake turf to then plant my leg. And it's like the other part that was tough is, let me show you on the board here. The other part that was tough is, where is my, hold on, let me add myself on screen here. So the part that was tough was I had to do this. So here's the, God, everything is messed up on my system. I don't understand what happens sometimes. Hold on.
Yeah, that was weird thing with the blue here. And there's a longer delay, it seems like, today than there is normally.
So here's where it was. So the field goal, we'll put it right here. Okay. And then it literally went like this. So the OCD in me means to know this look perfect. Okay. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. And then there was like, netting right here. So the 50-yarder, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, there was no 50-yard mark. It was, imaginary. And it literally, it stopped right here, the green grass, or the turf. So they had to put the football right here. And there's this big, like, box or big, like, pole here. This big, like, pole and tower or something that went straight up or whatever. So, that, like, support system for the inside of the building or whatever. So literally, we had to set the ball to the side, like right here, and I had to take my steps in here and off on the side, and there's like railings and stuff here that I had to move over. So I literally had to like run sideways and then kick the ball, and I just shanked it like right here on the 50-yarder, like because I was running that way. So I was running this way instead of running straight. I was running this way, and maybe it was a little bit more like this. But it just went straight into the net right there. It didn't even like go like this and miss. It went straight into the net. And I was like, there goes my long kicker nickname. There goes everything that I worked for all day long. Anyway. All right, Ron, anything else?
That's funny. No, that's about it. I just
All right.
I'm catching up. I'm laughing at your thing because what you said is already over and done with, but now it's catching up on the video part of it. So I'm seeing all your analogy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Fake Ty Lee says sounds like a lot of excuses. It is. These are a lot of excuses. I've got a lot of them. I have a lot of them to explain what happened. All right, I'm out of here. Ron, appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you too, Smitty.
All right.
You going down there tomorrow then?
I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I'm tired after that. That's a lot of kicking.
All right.
I kicked like 4 or 5 times. All right. Later, Ron.
Wow.
Later.
All right. Later.
All right. Well, just so you guys know, went over all this news earlier. Just to wrap it up, Derek Carr, a deal sounds like it's potentially The framework of it is in place. So Derek Carr trade could potentially be on in the works right now, which means the contract needs to be inked out or laid out. And if a contract is laid out to the liking of Derek Carr, the Raiders have to accept whatever, or they're going to lose him for nothing because they have to release him on the 15th, or they owe him 32 point something million, which equates to, I think, some total cost to the team is like 40 mil, I believe. So $32 million salary owed to Derek Carr if he's on the roster past the 15th. He's getting released. He's getting released or he's getting traded. And it sounds like the Saints situation is looking pretty promising, which would be great for our Moon Man right here.
The Moon Man.
Moon Man extraordinaire.
Dropping loads in outer space.
Chris Olave. Fantastic news. And then guess what we did? We put another
Space
moon
Monsters.
another moon man on Mars. We put a man on Mars, and his name is...
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars man.
His name is Garrett Wilson. He is a Mars man.
Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
Let's see if we can move him over a little bit. Let's move these guys over. Scoot over a little bit, guys. Make room for Garrett. Make room for Garrett. Chase, you're taking up a lot of room, bro. There we go. Joe Burrow. Let's move Joe Burrow over slightly. So far, we've got four. There's only 5 seats. So Mars Men extraordinaire. I will see you all later. I may go live tonight. I'm not sure. It's already 8:30, so we kind of did like a show in between the 7 p.m. show and in between the night show tonight. I'm going to watch the rest of this. Is that Emmitt Smith coming out? Emmett and Barry. Woo! Emmett and Barry. Those are 2 dogs right there. Those are 2 dogs. Which one was better? Of course, the answer is Barry, but Emmett had the stats. I'm crazy. Those 2 guys were dogs. I feel bad for people who didn't get to see Emmett and Barry play, especially Barry. The guy on the right there, the guy on the right is the best running back to ever play the game. People don't know. His cutting was absolutely insane. All right, Olave, Garrett Wilson to the moon. Appreciate you all. Hit that thumb up button on your way out the door. I'm live Monday through Friday, every single Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm also live whenever news breaks. I'm also live Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at midnight most nights. Tonight, probably not. I'm not sure. Ron Navy dropping a monster wad here. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Dicker the kicker. No, it's Smitty. Thank you, Ron Navy, for the super chat. Ron Navy.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. Ron Navy in the house. Appreciate Ron dropping that. Ron to the moon.
To the moon.
I will see you all later. Appreciate you. Peace out.